So Obadiah, the destruction of Edom for their pride. If we look at where is it, 19, they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau. So here we've got a map of the king of the north and the king of the south, the two kingdoms. We've got Christendom in the north, Rome, and then we've got the king of the south is the Caliphate, which is Mecca, which is down there. So we have here again replacement theology. Esau and Edom is standing for Rome and the king of the north. How are the things of Esau searched out? The men of thy confederacy have brought thee to the border. The men that were at peace with you have deceived you. If you're in a confederacy, it's a union, it's a pact. So considering that we just read in verse 19 here, the south, this says to me that Islam, who is in a confederacy with Rome, is deceiving Rome and going to strike and take them over. Isaiah 14 says the same thing. It says here about the triumph over Babylon. Verse 4, the proverb against the king of Babylon: how has the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? How art you fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? As we just read, it's the proverb against Babylon. Lucifer is not particularly talking about the devil here. Lucifer is referred to as Rome, the Roman Catholic Church. The reason: you've said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven, exalt my throne above the stars of God. Okay, it's just like what we read about Edom judged for their pride. Again, in Ezekiel 27, the irrecoverable fall of Tyrus. Repeating Isaiah 14 about Lucifer, it says here, because your heart's lifted up, you have said, I am God, I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet you are a man and not God, though you set your heart as the heart of God. Clearly talking about the papacy. So Daniel 11 as well talks about these conflicts between these kings. So if we look again at this map, the conflict between the king of the north and the king of the south, at some point they entered into a confederacy, probably, as I looked into it initially, with Hitler. Hitler and Islam had a pact, and they had common enemies. One of them was the Jews, but they had common enemies because each of these two kingdoms, the thing that they share in common is Christendom had what's called contrary kingdoms. You had, with Luther, a split of those nations who protested the apostasy of the Roman Catholic Church. And again with Islam, quite soon after Islam was founded, they split into Sunni and Shia, and they warred amongst themselves. So yeah, I'm going to study this more, but they have made a pact due to these common enemies. However, there will be a deception. There is a deception in this peace that is currently persisting at the moment, and the South will make a great slaughter in this Roman kingdom and take it for a spoil. We'll just quickly finish with this verse 29 in Isaiah 14. After the slaughter, it says here, rejoice, do not rejoice, whole Palestina, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. That's talking about the Roman Catholics. For out of the serpent's fruit shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. That's talking about that Islam conquers the West. And that's why it's saying, do not rejoice because the king of the north has been removed, your oppressor, because you will have a worse oppressor.